Glamorized and embraced by Hollywood, feared in the underworld, Benjamin Bugsy Siegel was one of the most powerful men in America. He was also one of the most hated. The man who gave birth to Las Vegas was gunned down in the luxurious home of his glamorous lover. Almost 80 years later, his murder remains unsolved. Who killed Bugsy?
I like these calm little moments before the storm.
Money comes big, yeah. It's not small, no.
Kiss my entire.
Oh, my darling, knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Your coffee, sir.
Thanks, beautiful.
You're welcome.
This is a man's world.
Yow! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the coffee shop. I'm your host, Doc Blalock, writer, artist, and now letterer. I've been struggling with learning how to letter. Damn, I should have groomed up a little bit before the show. I'm looking a little woolly, is what I'm saying to you. Hello, Carrie darling. Wonderful to see you. Hello, lurkers. Glad to see all you guys too. Drop us a hello in the chat so we can say hi to you. Let me bring out some all-star talent here.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Gordon Shumway, nice to meet you. Interested in a new Buick?
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself.
I'll make you famous.
I'll make you famous.
Yes, indeed he do. What's going on, Tanner?
Oh, nothing much. How you doing?
I'm good. I love it when we don't have an agenda.
I do too.
There's no agenda. Now, I do have something I want to talk about though. I don't know if you've seen, but Congress does what Congress does. They have hearings about everything.
Oh yeah.
And even when it's my side of the aisle, it's all just gotcha moments. But what's going on right now is Dr. Fauci is being grilled mercilessly, as he should be.
Well, yeah.
There was never any science behind 6 feet of distance, masking children, making children stay home from school. None of that was ever science, and he's admitted it now. There was gain of function research, allegedly. YouTube, calm your tits. Don't get sideways and take us down. The lab leak is not a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So all this is going on, and it's a good thing that the American people, if they're willing to listen, can hear this. But let's never forget that this is just more political theory or theater, because there's an election coming. So they're trotting out, A.G. Garland and trotting out Fauci, crucifying these guys for the dissolution of our southern border and for all the madness that happened with the lockdowns. And it's theater. It's meant to remind you that the dementia puppet has done a terrible job. And that's really what's going on. Yes, I said madness. And it's entertaining to watch. And it's a little informative. But here's what I wish, Tanner. Here's what I wish.
What do you wish?
I wish they would actually do something besides hold hearings with gotcha moments for YouTube.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we went back in time and we were talking to Jefferson and Washington and Benjamin Franklin and, all those guys, and we were saying, hey, here's the thing that's really going to be important. Clicks. They would look at you like you had a dick growing out of your forehead.
And honestly, we don't even have to even go back that far.
Right.
Could you imagine going back to FDR or even
Reagan?
Reagan. I was going to say Eisenhower, but
Reagan appreciated a little theater. He was an actor, so yeah, he would probably be on board with the whole YouTube thing. Pop says they're getting hammered with thunderstorms where he's at. Duck and cover. Weather ain't no joke. But yeah, I don't want them just doing gotcha moments on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's all well and good. And I get.
Could you imagine if the hearings of the war trials of World War II was done today?
The War of 1812.
Yeah. Oh no.
Those dirty Brits. They burned the White House and then we kicked their asses down there in New Orleans. So, and then we just decided to stop fighting. Nice and sunny over in the UK, says Carrie.
You enjoy that because that's rare.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, no, needless to say, there's not really any legislation they can pass right now in Congress that Dementia Boy won't be ordered to veto by Obama, because that's really where we're at right now. This is Obama's 3rd term, in case you people didn't know. What's up, Gray Wolf? Allegedly.
Hey,
Allegedly. Don't get it sideways, YouTube. Allegedly. Even though he said that's what he'd like to do. But here's the thing, boys and girls. Like they used to say in Game of Thrones, winter is coming, November is coming. And the guy that had the economy humming along, peace across the world, no aggression from China or Russia, southern border secure, he's going to be back in the White House again. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Just saying. Then, if I don't see some damn legislation passed to do some things and take care of some business, don't make me run for office. Don't make me run.
Do it.
Don't make me run.
I'll vote for you. One vote right there.
I've had the same theory, Grey Wolf, and then they'll ride the inertia of the first female president. I'm going to carry on Joe's great legacy, blah, 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 get the sympathy vote, and they might have a chance. However, that's just a theory. I say by all means, not only should they stick with Joe, they should get him out in front of as many people as possible. Let him talk for as long as he wants to talk.
Whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah, let him say anything he wants to say, because you talk about a meme machine. Holy cow, man. America can be summed up in one word. What the hell did he say? The thing.
The thing.
The last count I had was 31 million illegal immigrants have been released into the U.S. And they want to include the illegals in the census so that they can redistrict the House and the Electoral College. That's the plan. Okay. In case you were asleep at the wheel and didn't realize what was going on. So that's one of the first pieces of legislation I want to see passed, is that the American census only includes citizens of the United States. Shouldn't be that hard. Short, one sentence. There's the bill.
Well, what I think is funny, the Democrats, I guess, for lack of a better term, they want to count all these people, but if you look at the culture, let's just go off the culture of, people coming over from Mexico, people of Hispanic descent, largely Catholic.
Yes.
Okay. And conservative.
Socially, they are very conservative.
Many of the people coming over aren't from Mexico or Latin.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And I get it. You got the Chinese, and you've got a lot of people from Africa, and
Yep. Carrie's looking for Rocky. Look, the Rocky Cam will be engaged when he comes down to make an appearance.
He made an appearance on the Comic Artist Hour. Well, they made a audio appearance. But the harmonization of the howls and whatnot happened in the middle of that show. So.
Got you. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Everything's kind of in a holding pattern until November. But I'm here to tell you, under the sound of my voice right now, if you don't get out and vote, it's going to have to be an overwhelming landslide to overcome any nefarious actions.
Too big to rig. Look, there's only so many registered voters. If 70% of them vote one way, they can't really cheat.
Now, in other news, Nigel Farage has announced over in England he's going to run for prime minister again. And he is their version of Trump. So if we want to save the West, let's get these two guys back in office. I'm staying at a friend's and accidentally her doggy was fed chicken under the table with no help from me.
Oh, I dropped chicken. Oops. Drop some chicken. Oops. Hey, doggy, look, I dropped some chicken over here.
We don't say that too loud. Rocky will hear that shit.
Shit, he comes down here scavenging all the time, man.
I'm aware.
My queen between him and Louis.
And it seems like he would have learned over these last couple of months. Pops ain't really eating nothing. He's drinking shit. You know, there's nothing really to get. Stop begging. You can't have my beef soup.
I don't think you want this, boy. I knew.
So, that's where we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's a holding pattern, but you need to be having these conversations with everybody you know. And as soon as you know they agree with you, just move the fuck on. Go to somebody else. Find the ones that are stupid enough to think that things are going great right now, because they're trying to gaslight you and tell you, no, the economy is actually doing great. You're just not paying attention. Your grocery bill, your mortgage, your insurance, all of that shit is lying to you.
Yeah. But look at the stock market. Oh, what? The rich getting richer? They ain't got shit to do with me.
The stock market operates independently of fiscal policy. Okay, it does its own thing. It's
yeah, them rich people making money. Okay, so what? You know, it's like,
well, look, hey, middle class people are investing in getting rich on the market. That's wonderful. Rock on. Heck, I got nothing against you. And if the rich get richer, they didn't take a dime out of my pocket. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm saying they point at that as the thing that make
I'm aware.
The economy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's just
I'm all
smart.
How do you feel? How do you feel about, you know, the wealth cap? You know, where basically the rest of that money is just going to go straight to the government. You know?
Yeah, I think it's idiotic. I think this is America. Make as much damn money, make your pile as big as you want it. And the other thing is this whole, I got a buddy, he's a Democrat, and he's like, he disagrees that inheritance tax should be abolished. No, I think with each generation, you should just have to make it on your own, blah, blah, blah. If I work my whole life to leave my family in a better place than I had it, that's my business. That's not the government's to take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in the inheritance tax.
No, I don't believe in a wealth tax. I believe in a flat tax. Flat. Everybody pays the same percentage. And I also think it ought to be just a federal sales tax, not an income tax. Let me keep all my money and spend it how I want to spend it.
Yeah.
And then you can tax those expenditures at a flat rate, so that me, the billionaire, and the guy panhandling on the corner, we're all carrying the same level of burden. If I got $1 and I'm paying a penny, cool. If I got 100 and I'm paying $10, cool. If I got $1 billion and I'm paying 100 million, cool. All even. That's the way it should be. It's progressive tax gets higher as you earn more money. Well, that disincentivizes people from wanting to work harder and make more money.
Yeah.
All right, Carrie, it just came through. Oh, that's a cute doggy. That's a cute doggy. Is he a husky? Are you house sitting? What's the 411 there, Carrie? Yeah, I just got it. So yeah, that's just kind of my little hot take on what's going on right now. Pay attention, keep your eyes open, watch what's happening intelligently and with a discerning spirit. Use a little critical thinking when you're looking at things.
Oh man, I used to say that to my kids all the time. You know, are you using critical thinking? A little critical thinking, guys. You know, which was funny because, you know, the oldest, you know, he's starting to do college courses and stuff like that through the military. Of course, even the military talks about critical thinking, but, you know, critical thinking, what it used to be, you know, but he's seeing this in college, you know, thing, oh, they said that they're doing critical thinking. I was like, are they? Are they?
Are they though? Are they though?
That's when I'm like, didn't I already teach you that? What are you taking that for?
Well, no, he was just saying, like, in the synopsis, it said critical thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already taught the kids that. Hopefully, we taught them
that's what he thought was
college,
Oh, this is the dog. That's the dog she's babysitting.
Mm.
Carrie, she stomps that little foot and gets all demanding. Show the picture. There it is. There it is, Carrie. I'm spending some time at a friend, sleeping at hers in the spare room. We don't get to see each other. Oh, okay. All right.
Nice.
Very cool. Pops goes and house sits every now and then. And
with the pit bulls, yeah.
And it's always a nice setup. Like, damn, man, your friend that you're house sitting for has got it going on.
That's my son's little brother.
Mm.
Different daddy.
So a step nephew.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So let's move into something here. So people were asking, how do you fight back? They've got Hollywood, they've got politics, they've got higher learning, they have all of the education. Well, here's how we do it. We're fighting $1 trillion propaganda machine with memes, baby. With memes. That's how you do it, because the left can't meme. The left cannot meme. And someone asked me, when we go out and pick our garden fresh memes every week, how do you always seem to have a meme ready for the most random things? Well, you have to know these things when you're a king, Oh my gosh. So yeah, this, by replacing your morning coffee with green tea, you can lose up to 89% of what little joy you still have left in your life. Green tea. I tried it. It tastes like cut grass.
I like
it's
some
terrible.
Teas, actually, out there.
That obligatory coffee meme was brought to you by. Say it, Doc. Who's your friends? Say it.
By Safe House Coffee Roasters. There we go. You can't post facts at the moment. To prevent you from making us and our overlords look any more ridiculous, we've temporarily restricted your ability to use this feature on Facebook. You can try again once you start acting like a good little sheep like everyone else. That's basically what they want. That's what they want.
Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Hey, Billy. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this one spoke to me. What radicalized you? Have you tried using a modern gas can?
Yeah.
See, I broke mine. I have one of those. And I say I broke it, but I'm pretty sure one of the kids broke it and then left it for me to try to finagle.
We watched Laurie try to use it last week, and we ended up telling her just take the whole thing off.
Yep. I'll put a funnel in my lawnmower.
Yeah.
Take the damn cap off and pour it right in there. Pay attention. Because I'm not a fucking idiot. I know how gravity works. Fucking regulations, man. They don't like books, though. Biology, economics, statistics. You just don't do that to them. Don't be cruel to the idiots. They can't help it. Liberals puzzled why someone would write a protest song instead of burning down their local Target. You notice it's been all over the social medias there that when Trump was convicted, we didn't burn down a city. We just raised $60 million for him in 24 hours. Bam! So arresting people for saying that are Seems like a horrible way to convince people that aren't. Just saying. And this is the one that this kind of bugged my buddy. That's a big time. He's a sports guy, you know. When you're so woke that a Blackfeet chief drawn by a Blackfeet artist approved by the Blackfeet Nation is considered offensive to white people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what kind of royalties did you just take away from that artist's family?
Right.
Who was a minority? Just saying, bam. I just found out my father, a lifelong Republican, is now voting Democrat. He would have never done that when he was alive. Gotcha, bitch. I don't know who needs to hear this, but Fauci should be in jail. He shouldn't have saved your life. He didn't. I'm still unvaccinated. Stay mad. Natalie, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, Chest Chick 01, but you've got a friend in me.
Now, Burning Justine looks a little
Very Justine. Yeah, listen. It's pretty obvious you got the jab, because look at you. Just look at you. All right, so on that note, Fauci did tell some truth. He told, he had a moment of clarity.
I was military at the time, so you know how it is. When they tell you have to get something, you have to get something. So I have the jab, but
right, yeah. But you didn't run up there and go, "Ooh, stick me so I can dodge the thing that's like the flu."
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I remember I looked at my buddy. You had a bunch of people that were worried about it, and they were mad. And people were getting, tensions were elevated that day.
Sure.
For sure. I just sort of looked over at my buddy, rolled up my sleeve and said, they stabbed me with like 6 or 7 different things before I went off to war. And I was like, what's that? And they're like, it's for your protection. And I said, okay, right on.
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot of people don't know when you go in the military, you're going to get about 20 injections. All right. And then every few years on deployments, depending on where you're going, you're going to get more.
Which had a direct connection to why I didn't get one, because I got so sick in boot camp.
Well, everybody gets recruit crud. But here's what I was going to say. When I got out of the military after 4.5 years off active duty, I was still reservist. I didn't get sick for the next 8 years. Not once.
My buddy was telling me he read somewhere, basically guys that have been in, 20 plus years and everything like that. Supposedly you never have to get a flu shot ever again the rest of your life, because your body's like so immune to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
there's a phenomenon. There is a phenomenon called recruit crud, and it's basically a bad URI. It's an upper respiratory tract infection.
Oh God, yeah.
When you get 80 to 100 guys from all over America sharing germs in a confined space, you get some shit. But there is, in fact, a cure for it, and you find out when you go to the gas chamber.
Ain't that the truth?
Because you are going to hoik up, I mean, more mucus than you thought possible to exist.
Where does this even come from?
It's like an alien leaving your body. Oh!
That ain't even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the day they ting. I fucking fell out in the hallway 10 minutes later, dude. I was fucking sick.
Yeah, you had a reaction.
The fun one was smallpox.
Which that's what I mean. That's why I ain't never let nobody stick me nothing ever since. It was like, man, it was that bad. Where it's like, no, you put that.
But don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti experimental, unproven, temporary vaxes that don't work. That's the only vax I'm against. Okay.
I'm against them all since one of them fucked me up really bad somehow. And I don't know which one it was because how many did they hit you with that day?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I have no idea what that cocktail did to me. If it was the mixture, if it was, you know what I mean?
Oh, a needle. Okay. Ow. You know, you just go through. You just do it.
But you had no idea which one was the one that caused the reaction.
Yeah, you don't know. You listen. You don't know what you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah,
but it's like this. It's like this. You know, it's kind of like the terms of service when you're using software that you really need. It's like, do you agree with this? Well, I guess I have to. If I'm going to use this shit.
Maybe.
Well, I guess if I'm going to be in the military and get my paycheck, I got to get these shots. I got to do the boot camp.
It was back to that never again volunteer yourself thing. See that hat Doc's wearing? See that NABY? That's what that shit stands for. Never again volunteer yourself.
Well, I'm not going to lie. If I was still capable of doing the job I did, I would go back in a heartbeat.
Oh, God, he ain't lying.
But not until Dementia Boy vacates Pennsylvania Avenue. I don't want no part of the shit he's causing.
Shenanigans.
The shenanigans. The mischief. Oh, that was my grandfather's byword. He would say, oh, the mischief. Oh, the mischief. Oh, the mischief.
Perry, sounds to me like you're blaming those innocent children for your whoopsies. What? You don't know my children. There is nothing innocent about these horrible.
Carrie obviously doesn't have children.
It's especially relevant with my children.
My son at 4 years old, standing in the hallway with a purple crayon in his hand, purple crayoning all over the wall. Son, did you draw on the wall with that crayon?
No, Dad.
No, sir.
No, sir.
How did that happen? I don't know. How did that crayon get in your hand? I don't know. Drop.
Drop.
Gray Wolf coming in hot.
Yeah.
Listen, children
and
are
Magoo
not.
Was lovable too. So I mean, he'd be great. You know,
people say, you know, I love children. They're so honest. They tell the truth. No, they don't. They're lying, manipulative little wallet draining crap factories that are always opening that cry hole for something else.
Now, hold on. I remember my son flew on a plane when he was 4 years old from Michigan to Phoenix to spend some time with Dad in the summer, right? He was 4. And I told him, I was like on the phone before the flight. I was like, look, they're going to ask you how old you are. I want you to just hold up your hand. Don't lie to nobody. Don't say nothing. Just hold up your hand like that. Okay. And he goes, well, okay. So he gets on the plane. They ask him how old he is. And he's like, I'm like, okay. Because he had to be 5 to travel alone. Right. Okay. So the stewardess was like super cool. And he had a great time on the plane and everything. Get him home. Get him to the house. My friend Becky, she says to him, so Travis, I heard you flew out here on a plane all by yourself. And he looked at her with the most serious little face, said, no, there was other people on the plane.
See?
It's like there was an old guy in my church, and a young person asked him, have you lived here your whole life? He said, not yet.
But crack me up. We had like 30 people at the house waiting to meet Travis because none of my friends had seen him since he was a baby, so he's 4 years old. He's got the long blonde hair, just like, oh dude, it was so, but they all fell out when he said that. Everybody just broke out laughing, and it was like, man, he won the hearts of everybody in the room with one sentence.
Yes, absolutely. That's the way you do it. I mean,
Heck yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean children don't say some profound shit, because they do. But
yes, they do.
Listen, if they're in trouble, if they've done something wrong, you can rest assured they're not going to pull a George Washington and say, yes, I chopped down the cherry tree. Hell no. Especially if they got siblings. They're going to throw that sibling under the bus. Yeah, he did it.
Oh, man, my younger two. So I remember one time, like, the boy had drawn all over the wall with a marker and everything. And there was one area where it was blank. And so we're like, so what happened here? And he's all proud of himself. He goes over to his sister, lifts up her back of her shirt. He's basically drawn a tramp stamp right on her back, across, you know. That's where she was standing, you know.
And there you go. There you go.
Oh,
but it did. It looked like some sort of tribal and everything right on her back. We took a picture of it, of course, like the good parents we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can be like, hey, remember when you were a hussy?
Yeah. Remember when your brother gave you a tattoo?
No.
He did not. Yes, he did. Here's proof.
One of the things I love about one of my grandsons is that he can't lie. He's just no good at it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love it because he knows.
But he tries.
No, he knows it. He knows he can't. He's just like, yeah, you're right. He just ain't no good at it. He's been caught so many times. He just don't know for it. He's like, yeah. He just doesn't have the face for it. He doesn't have a poker face. He doesn't have. He doesn't have none of it.
I didn't say kids were good at lying. I just said that instinct is to lie, and I will die on that hill because I'm here to tell you. Look. My niece came over one time. I was babysitting her. My sister, I forget where she had to go, but she's going to be gone 2 hours. Can you just watch? Yeah, have her come on over. So my niece was a very hard-headed little girl. And she goes into one of the guest bedrooms. And she's wandering around. And I'm just following her to make sure she doesn't hurt herself or get into something she shouldn't, because she's a toddler. And she decides she wants to come out of the room. Well, she knows how to open her mouth and say, excuse me. But she just tried to shove past me. I said, no, ma'am, just say, excuse me, and I'll move.
Did it work?
It's a teachable moment. Let me tell you something. An hour later, sweat rolling down her face, tears, snot bubbles, because she's not going to say, excuse me, until finally she'd had enough. I turned the air off. We started the whole. It's hot as shit back there. She tries to push her way through the window. She tries to look for an exit in the closet. She's going to do anything she can think of to not say, excuse me, to get out of the room. Finally, she says, excuse me. And I let her out because that's all you had to do. When her mother got there, she was like, why is she all snotty and crying? I said, ask her. And my niece said, and I quote, as she leaned back, she screamed like Jason Voorhees had got her. So I told my sister what happened, and she goes, I don't know what to do with her. She's just that hard-headed. She would rather die than do what she's told to do. Like, well, sis, I love you, but anytime you bring her over here, she's gonna do what the hell I tell her to do. I will stand at that door until the rapture happens before I let that kid out without saying, excuse me. You're not going to shove your way past. You must have bumped your head.
Isaac challenged Grandpa a few days ago to the first time he ever decided he was going to step up and arm wrestle Grandpa. Well, when you going to start? Well, you start yet? Well, when am I going to do this? He got so mad, dude. I said, you got about 5 more years, boy. You got about 5 more years before you're going to be doing that with Grandpa.
I think next week's meme prop will be all about toddlers. Now, that could also mean the rainbow-haired toddlers that are out protesting. Did you see, by the way, where the Pride Parade ran into the pro-Palestine parade? and they blocked each other. And it was literally, it's hard to describe. It was like the immovable object meeting the irresistible force. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know who to virtue signal for. They were confused. You can't, oh wait, you're, I mean, they couldn't do anything. It just froze them in their place until they finally just kind of filtered through each other. You know, it's the craziest damn thing. When you don't know where on the victim hierarchy you fall with your particular protest, and you run into another one, what do? It was epic. I got to figure out a way to load video memes because there's just too many of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord knows. My kids are always showing me new ones.
Yeah, there was one with these this little effeminate boy in a man's body. With hey, Bo, what's up? With his little halter top on like they wear. And he's pouring himself some strawberry quick. And he says, this is strawberry milk, so it's completely vegan. And then it cuts to a room full of strawberry. Yeah. A room full of rednecks leaning into the camera going, what in the hell is he talking about? And they start laughing. One of them says, I ain't never seen an udder on no damn strawberry. And a guy in the back starts to just walk away shaking his head. Where you going? Yeah. I've had enough. He said, I've had enough of this internet thing. Yeah, right on, Grey Wolf. Yeah, everybody's seen it. Yep. It was indeed hilarious to watch. They will eat their own given enough time. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. All right. Hey, Pops, we're going to take a little station break here. I left off with Cindy Koepp. Why don't you play the next 3 for us, and we'll be back after these messages.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to Punk Droid.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
We are back.
All right.
Thank you, Pops, for doing that. Tanner, do you have a great moments for us?
I do have a great moments for us today.
So, do we have a great moments?
We do. Greetings and salutations. I'm Tanner Hurley with another great moments in comic history. Today, the man we're going to talk about got his start in indie comics. He's a phenomenal artist with a mastery of black and white, and he's worked for Marvel. He's worked for DC. He's worked for Dark Horse, but he got his start primarily at Malibu doing Nightman. It's Kyle Hotz.
Oh yeah, baby.
I got some of those.
I had forgotten all about Nightman.
Oh, his artwork is astounding. I was like, and the nice thing about it today is I actually got some original.
Oh, check that out.
Doctor Strange annual.
Nice. Very nice. Wow. That's awesome. Did you get it autographed? Is that autographed?
Let's see. I don't think it's autographed. No, it's not autographed.
But still.
It's just page 4 from Doctor Strange annual.
Very nice.
I used to have a Lady Death piece, but I've since sold that just because I wasn't interested in the character no more.
Right.
But a person had sold it saying it was done by an unknown artist. Well, I knew instantly. I was like, that's Kyle Hotz. So I yanked that up.
Let me answer this question from Matthew Cricky real quick.
Okay.
Thoughts on Lunar distribution versus Diamond? Critical Blast distribution.
Yeah, let me say something too. Lunar wouldn't exist if Diamond didn't tell everybody they weren't going to deliver anything a few years ago for a little while.
Right.
And Diamond sucked anyway, but they're the ones that like shut the industry down for a minute, and them having that kind of power over the big two just showed me how weak the whole industry, the mainstream industry, really was. And yeah, Critical Blast, baby.
Yeah, if you're an indie comic creator like we all are here, well, not Pops, Critical Blast or do it yourself. That's the simple answer to that. That's distribution done right. I don't really have a dog in that fight with Lunar versus Diamond. Like Pop said, Diamond did some nasty stuff, and they did hurt the fans, and screw them.
Even the small time guys that we know that are in Diamond, okay, like Ben puts people in Diamond. Ben Dunn, he puts Anthony Press. Okay, Max is there. Okay, but when that just made more work for Max, because now when Max posts something about his campaigns or something, he also has to tell everybody, hey, tell your local comic store that in their Diamond catalog on page 963,
right,
book is there, man.
Right.
And they should order one. And if me, the fan, doesn't know what page Max's book is on in Diamond, I can't tell the retailers. And every retailer I've ever talked to has told me they do not look at every page of that book.
Sure. Which is crazy because, man, I'm telling you, as a guy who used to work in a comic book shop, I used to go page for page through the old Diamond distribution.
You worked there.
magazine.
Did the guy who bought the comics go through it page for page?
No, that was my job.
So, but the thing is, like we said, with a few exceptions, we're all real independent creators. so we don't have a dog in that fight.
Yeah.
All right. So
power to Lunar if they can freaking knock Diamond all the way out the business. Woo, go, go, go. But now there's another guy and another guy and another guy.
Or if RJ takes over that market, I'll be happy for him.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Critical Blast, baby. Tanner.
Yes.
What was that artist's name we were just spotlighting?
Kyle Hotz.
What's he doing now?
Oh man, he's just finished up a bunch of covers for DC. He did Swamp Thing. He did these beautiful Batman illustrations.
I was gonna say, man, based on what I saw, he ought to be all up in Swamp Thing or Man Thing.
Yeah.
Monster, I love that stuff.
He did a few years back. He did the Simon Garth zombie remake. He was involved with that one. That was good. That was definitely within his wheelhouse.
Right. Yeah, when you do a Kickstarter, just put a retailer tier on your campaign. And then if you want to get into Walmart, Barnes and Noble, wherever, you hit up RJ at Critical Blast, and he'll get you in there at no cost to you.
Not only that, but he does fulfillment for campaigns.
Yeah,
complete fulfillment for your campaign. It doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost you a dime.
He does that for a whole bunch of people. I'm going to play his ad here in a little bit, so stick around, Matthew. You'll see all the different titles.
We're actually gonna play it right now.
All right, we can play it.
And by the way, that is not a paid endorsement by the doctor here at the coffee shop. I just like what he does.
And RJ is a great person too.
He's a good guy.
Your Gemini slides right inside that beautiful plastic envelope right there. That could be your logo. Doesn't have to be RJ's. That could be your logo.
Right.
Your book, you can get all this, so your books are protected when they get shipped out.
With a Gemini mailer inside that envelope. Yep. So it's not just that. But yeah, that could be your logo on the outside. He takes care. Look, doesn't cost you a dime. And you're in Walmart, you're in Barnes & Noble plus fulfillment.
Well, I don't know about the Barnes & Noble. I don't know what that part of the service costs or not, or if he gets a percentage of that. I don't know how that works.
Yes, that's how it works.
I do know that the shipping, the fulfillment, the shipping costs, that's where he gets his money. It doesn't come out of your pocket at all.
You, as a creator, when RJ does services for you, no matter what it is, nothing comes out of your pocket.
The coolest part of it is that he's a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy to work with. He's, totally cool, fun. Fun. Has his own network where he does interviews with people and the same kind of stuff we do, launch party stuff. I mean, he gets it, right? He's also
RJ, you haven't had me out for a damn dirty thing yet. What the hell?
He's also a damn good author, guys. You're familiar with Remo Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
RJ wrote a story that's a Remo Batman crossover. That's freaking amazing, guys.
Nice.
I mean, you can't say Batman, right? You can't say Robin, but you know that's who it is, right? But it's a destroyer story. It's a Remo Williams story, right? But he ends up crossing paths with Batman. And it's a great freaking story, guys. RJ is a good author. Really good author.
Good author, good guy, and amazing. He's a publisher too, by the way.
Great editor. Yep. Publisher.
Yep.
Look.
Whatever you need, your one-stop shop for everything except creating the product. That's on you. Everything else, handed to RJ. Now, I don't use RJ. I have a publisher that does my stuff for me, and I'm thankful for that. I enjoy that working collaboration, but if I didn't have him, I'd be all up in Critical Blast in a heartbeat. All right, that's enough endorsement for RJ. Damn you, RJ, you got to have me out on your show, buddy.
Well, I mean, this is going to his channel, and he is a sponsor in that.
Yeah. In the meantime, one of the things that we do kick around sometimes, and this has been something people have asked me is, and Tanner, you're equipped to answer this. What does a publisher do for really independent comic book creators?
Oh man, what don't they do?
Because you are a publisher.
More of a studio house now, but I was a publisher. I dabbled in it for a few years. But I my philosophy on it was, the idea is your publisher takes care of the artists, the creators, so they're out there, promoting, they're out there, shilling, editing, all that kind of stuff, when it comes
the see if this sums it up. If you have a good publisher, all you got to do is write and draw. Or draw. Your creative team, they make the product, the publisher does everything else. Printing, fulfillment, networking with editors. That's their whole job, is to do everything else.
And the nice thing about a publisher is, as a creative, sometimes creatives get a little off the wall with certain ideas, and a good publisher is going to rein them in a way that makes them successful.
Yes, they don't let you destroy yourself. Because creatives, I think all of them, myself included, got a little bit of ADHD or something going on. Because we'll go, ooh, that sounds like a good idea. I'm going to do that. No, that's not a good idea for your campaign, buddy. That might be great for that book over there, but not for yours. And that's the role of a publisher. Yes, very important.
But also, the publisher's got to, you as the creator got to do that book tour.
Yes.
It's the publisher's job to make sure that you have places to sign books or be, or shows to be on or whatever. That's another part of the publisher's job. And I see a lot of publishers dropping the ball on the promotion aspect of selling comics and selling books. Okay?
Yeah. And that's a true story. So like my publisher, Anthony, I'll get a DM that says, hey, you're going on these shows this week. And he'll say, this show wants to have me out, so I'll go shill the book. And then this one wants both of us. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with all that. You book them all, baby, because I don't know as many people as my publisher does. And again, that's a good thing for your publisher to do. But remember, the basic answer is you make the product, the publisher does everything else. But you do have to go out on the shill tour. Now, I want to talk about that for a second. You remember Johnny Carson and David Letterman and all the talk shows, the late night talk shows. They've always been basically an opportunity for celebrities to come out and talk about what movie they're in. That's the whole reason they're there. Whatever their current project is, that's why they're there. Well, that's the same thing in our community. When you go out on the YouTube channels, all of them, all means all, and that's all that all means. Go on every show you can get on to talk about your book. It's mind-numbingly repetitive, You will get tired of answering all the same questions over and over again.
And over again.
The psychotic urge to say something crazy will enter your head. You can't do that. You got to just shill your book over and over and over again.
Right.
I don't mind doing it. I enjoy shilling for other people for whatever reason. I got a hard time shilling for myself, Pops. I have a hard time with that. So I don't mind, like, if I got a good interviewer that really asks all the right questions, then all I got to do is just provide those answers in a fairly articulate manner, and my work is done. The sucky part is when you've got an interviewer that doesn't really know how to interview. That does happen.
It does happen.
Pops and I, when we were doing CromCon, we divided it up pretty good. Pops would talk about the campaign, and I would talk about the creator and interview the creator. So it was pretty good that way. But you got to do all of that. By the way, if you guys have a YouTube channel and you're hosting people, learn how to interview people. That means active listening more than anything else. How do I become a vendor at Critical Blast? You reach out to RJ at Critical Blast. He will respond to you usually within 24 hours, and you will have a conversation, and you will be very happy. That's how that works, Matthew. And Matthew, I wish you all the luck in the world if you're doing a book.
Absolutely.
Reach out to me. I'll be happy to have you on the show, and we'll shill for you. Like I just said, I'm good at shilling for other people, just not so much for myself.
It is at Critical Blast on Twitter or RJ Carter on Facebook. If you join the Comic Related Madness on Facebook, you can find pretty much everybody you see on any of the shows on this network are part of that.
Drop your links, Pop, so people can hit them. They are pinned in the description underneath. However, we'll drop those links for you here in the chat for Critical Blast and for the Madness Network. I met
everybody in the network's contact info is in.
I met my first colorist through the Madness Network. I just said, "Hey, I need a colorist," and people responded. You can go in there and say, "Hey, my buddy just said I need an editor." Bam, editor within 10 minutes. That's just the way that works. No, it's my buddy Big Buford Ogletree from Hot Rod Vault, the Psycho DeVille's.
Yeah,
was looking for an editor for his book, and Allie Sanguius hit him up because she's a big fan of rockabilly, and she's a writer and an editor. So, bam, instant connection.
Oh, nice.
There have been countless collaborations that have come out of people meeting through the Facebook or the network. Just tons of people.
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up with Anthony Romano. How the hell did that happen? Somebody tell me, please.
I want to say something about Topper Helmers because we had a count for him over the weekend.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that dude has art in the Lincoln Library? Murals on the fucking walls in the Lincoln.
Yeah,
library.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm going to hold on a second here.
Talking to that dude was amazing. He's done so much stuff for theme park art, like the big giant mural stuff that you see outside of a ride or whatever, all that kind of stuff.
I love that stuff.
Dude.
I'm gonna flex a little bit. I have a book in the Library of Congress. Bam.
I have an interview.
I don't know what that means. What?
Well, I got there was some kids that were doing a school project, and they sent it basically where they interview a bunch of vets and get their war stories, and then they sent it to the Library of Congress, and it actually got put in their folk art section or something. But I received this letter, one day, and saying that I was referenceable. Because I was in the Library of Congress, and I was like,
there you go.
That's awesome. So I told my kids, I said, hey, anytime you have to do a thing for like social studies or history or something,
I'm a reference.
I'm a reference. You can actually put your dad down.
That's awesome.
So you as well, by having that in the Library of Congress, are referenceable.
Now, in theory, the Library of Congress maintains a copy of everything published in America that has an ISBN number.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are other things that they add in there as well, like the interview. So yeah, if you've got an ISBN number, you're in. I couldn't imagine how. There's no way they can have physical copies of everything. It's got to, at this point, they got to just be doing digital.
It's got to be digital. It's
got to be.
They don't have, a lot of stuff doesn't have physical copies. It is only digital. So.
Right. Like music is in the Library of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
All the music made in America is in there. And I'm a little hazy on this, but they do maintain references for things that are even open source right now, like their copyright is expired, open domain, Popeye, all the music from the 20s and the 30s where the copyright is expired. They still maintain all of that too.
Heck yeah.
And they're the source for when copyright and trademark agencies have to reference something, they look it up in the Library of Congress to know if it's available or not. So yeah.
You familiar with cartoonist Milton Knight?
Rings a bell.
Oh man. Well, he just recently did a Popeye piece and posted it on his Facebook. I follow him on Facebook, and he was involved with the Ralph Bakshi type stuff, and a lot of cartoon, New Adventures of Mighty Mouse, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Got into comics. He did the Mighty Mouse comics for Marvel.
Okay. I'm sure I've seen some of his stuff. Did an
indie book called Hugo, just kind of I don't know how you.
That rings a bell.
It was an independent comic in the 80s.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
But man, he did a Popeye piece where he's slugging old Bluto and olive oil in the background, and it's beautiful. Just a beautiful piece.
I'm dying to do a Popeye book. I've got this.
Yeah,
it would redefine Popeye.
Yeah. Dude, your synopsis that you gave me was
yeah,
to say the least.
Yeah. It's the same. We're staying true to the character.
It stays very true to the character, but at the same time, I feel like it would do for Popeye what The Dark Knight Returns did for Batman.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Nice, great minds think alike.
Yeah, let's drop Popeye into a semi-real world and give him one bad night. Popeye, Dark Harbor. There's no spinach in it other than the ship he just docked in was carrying some. That's it.
One can of spinach. That's all he gets.
No. There's none of that.
Wisely.
There's no bullshit like this. No, none of that. None of that. Think Die Hard, but with Popeye. And then it's just a guy who has no quit in him, going up against impossible odds. That's Popeye. And he happens to be a sailor, Got a soft spot for sailors. What can I say? Bam!
Heck yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
So I found a new channel that I want to recommend to people. This is something I try to do when I find something good. There's a guy called Habitual Line Crosser on YouTube.
Habitual Line Crosser.
He does he has a good channel where he comments on military things. It's a military channel. Hey, Chris Hicks, good to see you, my friend. Chris Hicks, a very accomplished independent filmmaker. Glad to have you in the house. Wait, what was I saying?
talking about
New channel.
over the line.
Oh yeah. Habitual line crosser.
Habitual line crosser.
But he's the one that does the shorts that are like the different countries of the world. They have eyes and a mouth, and they're talking shit to each other. That's him. I binge watched probably 50 of those yesterday and was laughing my ass off. I mean, this is truly one of those channels worth. Get over there, give it a subscription. If you have a sense of humor and you like military and geopolitics, it's good stuff. It's really good.
Was it Robot Chicken that did the G.I. Joes that were like in therapy and stuff like that?
Oh, probably. Sounds like Robot Chicken.
I don't know if it was Robot Chicken or something I saw on YouTube or something, but that was funny, because it was like treating the G.I. Joes like they're really going through everything from PTSD to marital issues.
Anger management,
management,
yes. I think I've seen that one, and who knows? It may have been Robot Chicken, but it could have been. There are so many really good creators on YouTube. You never have to watch, corporate Hollywood shit ever again. YouTube can entertain you endlessly.
It really can. It really can.
I frequently fall down that hole, and I'll catch myself. An hour and a half has gone by, and all I've watched is a bunch of YouTube shorts. I'm like, fuck, I'm supposed to be working. So what do? I go on YouTube and I put on my work music, 12 hours of noir jazz, throw that in the background and sit down and work.
You know what I got? If you like noir, you like jazz, you like stuff of that nature, ambience, Vangelis.
Oh,
dude, I got like one of his last great orchestras before he passed. It's like a 2-disc. Well, I got it on vinyl because I'm a big vinyl dude.
There you go. There you
go. So it's a double record set, so 4 sides of goodness. Oh,
old school, baby.
Old school, yes.
Yep.
I just love that sound,
I want one of the old stereo component console units like I had back in the
80s. One of those big towers that just buttons,
turntable, the amp, the EQ, the double cassette deck, and later, a CD player.
Oh, Chris, yes, Blade Runner was like a definitive soundtrack. That was, I use Blade Runner all the time for inspiration, stuff like that.
Yes, indeed, you do. Yeah, music. It's a weird thing when I'm a painter. I'm a fine art painter, and I've been doing that for decades. When I paint, I do it in absolute silence. I don't want anything hitting my ears. Nature, and I think that comes from going outside and I paint what I see in front of me. Even in the studio, when I bring a piece back here and I'm refining it or whatever, kind of the same thing. But when I'm doing comic books, baby, I got a soundtrack for every book, every character, and I got to have that going. I have to have it. It gets me in that mood. When I was first writing the novella for A Damn Dirty Thing, bottle of scotch, got my cigarettes, got my jazz playing over there. I put my fedora on, and I write. get you in the mindset, get you into that headspace that you got to get into. Right, and Chris Hicks has a book available, digital.
Oh, nice.
You can drop your link, Chris. You have a wrench. Drop your link. I've read the story. It's good. You will enjoy it. It's a short story, and I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but payback's a bitch. Now, me personally, when I went back and reread it, Chris, I was listening to Round and Round by Rat.
Nice.
What goes around comes around. Yeah, baby. All right, so
good stuff.
We're gonna wrap this one up. It's been a good conversation. Had a good time. The chat's been remarkably quiet. It's not like our chat to be that.
Not like
quiet.
our chat. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's all for you, chat. Without you guys, there's no reason to do a show. So we're glad to have all of you here. And we're going to pass it around. Tanner, where can people find you, sir?
You can find me on all the social medias at Tanner Hurley. And then you can find me here on The Madness every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, right here on the coffee shop.
Right here on the coffee shop.
Pops, tell people where they can find you.
Right here, Madness Comic Network. Right.
On Facebook, on Twitter.
Over there in the chat, you see the Comic Madness or Crom Madness on Facebook. That's the group. Go there. Go here.
Yep. And I'm Doc Blalock. I've been your host. I'm the writer and creator of Pariah, Blood and Mud, Pariah, Sanctum of Hate, A Damn Dirty Thing, starring Jake Bishop. And I'm here on the YouTube. I'm the only Doc Blalock on YouTube. Go find me, subscribe, tune in. And on the Twitter, I'm Doc Blalock 8404. And that's it, boys and girls. We're out of here for the week. Peace.
Look, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm tired of talking to you.
And don't think it hasn't been a little slice of heaven.